Federation Heavyweight Championship with a 1-hour time limit. First, the challenger, accompanied by his manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan. He hails from Grenoble in the French Alps. He weighs 520 pounds. André the Giant.
An awesome figure, that 7'5" frame of André the Giant, who has literally been brainwashed by that man right there, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
No, I disagree with you a little, Gorilla. The man has never had a...
Have you ever heard of a man so big he was called the eighth wonder of the world? A man who could drink over 100 beers in one sitting and flip a car with his bare hands? Today, we're talking about the one, the only André the Giant. This isn't just a story about a wrestler. It's the tale of a real-life giant who lived a life larger than anyone could imagine. André René Roussimoff was born in a small French village in 1946. From a young age, it was clear he was different. He grew and kept on growing. By the time he was a teenager, he was already over 6 feet tall and couldn't fit in the school bus. His father had to drive him to school in a truck. What his family didn't know at the time was that André had a rare condition called acromegaly, which caused his body to produce an excess of growth hormone. This condition is what gave him his incredible size, but it also came with a lifetime of health challenges. As a young man, André left his small town to seek his fortune. He worked various jobs, including as a woodworker and a mover, but his immense size eventually led him to the world of professional wrestling. In the early 1970s, he caught the eye of Vince McMahon Sr., the founder of what would become WWE. Mr. McMahon saw a superstar, a true spectacle. He renamed him André the Giant and billed him as an undefeated, unstoppable force from Grenoble in the French Alps. And he wasn't wrong. For nearly 15 years, André was presented as undefeated. He traveled the globe, wrestling in sold-out arenas from New York to Tokyo. Promoters would line up to have him on their shows because his presence guaranteed a full house. People were captivated by his sheer scale, standing at an official height of 7 feet 4 inches and weighing over 500 pounds. He was unlike anyone they had ever seen. He was a real-life titan. Inside the ring, André was a force of nature. His size and strength were overwhelming. Most of his opponents were simply no match for him. He would toss men around the ring like they were toys. But sometimes his strength was genuinely terrifying. There's a famous story about a match with wrestler Macho Man Randy Savage. Savage, wanting to make their match look more realistic, put baby oil on himself. André hated this. During the match, André grabbed Savage, held him down, and refused to let him go, teaching him a lesson he'd never forget. Another time, against wrestler Bad News Brown, André felt disrespected and delivered some very real, very powerful blows, making it clear you did not want to get on his bad side in the ring. But outside the ring, the stories of André's size are just as legendary, especially when it came to his appetite and drinking capacity. The tales are almost mythical. It's said he once drank 156 beers in a single sitting. That's over 14 gallons. Another time, after a show in Pennsylvania, he reportedly drank 127 beers at a hotel bar and passed out in the lobby. He was so big that the staff couldn't move him. They had no choice but to put a velvet rope around him and let him sleep it off right there. His size made everyday life a constant struggle. Normal things we take for granted were a nightmare for André. Cars were too small, so he often had to travel in a customized van. Airplane seats were impossible. He would have to buy multiple first-class tickets just to have enough room. Even using a hotel bathroom was a challenge, as toilets and showers were not built for a man his size. He once said in an interview that the world was simply not made for him. This giant of a man also had a surprisingly gentle heart, though his appearance could be intimidating. Children were often frightened when they first saw him. He understood this and would try to be gentle and kind to win them over, but it was a constant reminder of how different he was. Despite the fame and money, he was one of the highest paid wrestlers of his time, earning hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. He often felt isolated and lonely because of his size. He was a public spectacle, but a private man who craved a normal life he could never have. In 1987, the world of wrestling was forever changed. At WrestleMania 3, in front of a record-breaking crowd of over 93,000 people, André the Giant faced off against the biggest star in wrestling, Hulk Hogan. For the first time in his career, André was the bad guy, the heel. The match was built around one question: could anyone body slam the Giant? For 15 years, no one had. The moment Hogan lifted André off his feet and slammed him to the mat is one of the most iconic moments in sports entertainment history. It was the passing of the torch, a symbolic end to André's era of invincibility. Wrestling wasn't the only thing that made him famous. Many people who never saw him in a ring know and love him for one unforgettable role: Fezzik in the classic 1987 film, The Princess Bride. Director Rob Reiner had a tough time finding someone big enough for the part until he met André. On set, André was beloved. He was gentle, kind, and despite his size, surprisingly agile. His co-star Mandy Patinkin, who played Inigo Montoya, remembered André as a gentle giant. The cast would often gather to hear his incredible life stories. His warmth and charm shone through in his performance, and his famous line, "Anybody want a peanut?" has become a beloved movie quote. His role as Fezzik showed the world the sweet, gentle soul behind the giant exterior. Sadly, André's acromegaly took a heavy toll on his body. The constant growth put immense strain on his heart and joints. By the late 1980s, he was in constant pain. He wore back braces under his wrestling gear and could barely walk without assistance. Yet he continued to perform, not just for the money, but because the roar of the crowd was the one place he truly felt he belonged. In 1993, at the age of just 46, André passed away in his sleep from heart failure while in Paris to attend his father's funeral. The world had lost its eighth wonder, but his legacy lives on. He was the first person inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. He paved the way for other big men in wrestling and showed that being different could be your greatest strength. André the Giant was more than a wrestler, more than an actor, and more than just a big man. He was a legend who lived a life of incredible highs and deep personal lows. He was a spectacle for the world to see, but a gentle soul known only to his friends. André was a man who was larger than life in every possible way, and his story reminds us that even giants can have the biggest hearts. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this look into the life of a legend, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories. Let us know in the comments what you remember most about the incredible André the Giant. See you next time.